This is the K Central Show, and I am your host, Central Booking.
I'm K Krill. What's going on, man? What's up with everybody? It's been a long time. You know, we've been out the loop a little bit. Ain't nobody heard from us, but we back, and it's something that I want to address. And me and my cousin, Mr. 42nd, we was talking about this, and we was talking about automation, the advancement of automation. And me and you was reading me and you was reading an article about 2025 where they were saying that
black men will be obsolete.
And it's kind of nerve wracking because if you think about it, you got kids out here now, and you wonder about these young kids and how they're gonna survive. Because if we're gonna be obsolete by the year 2025, that means low-skilled workers. You won't need low-skilled workers. And from what I'm seeing is, and I mean, I'm just looking around, I don't see nobody raising kids to be doctors and lawyers and top engineers no more.
That's very rare. And when you think about it, at this point, you know, education is going to be worthless at a point in time where it won't matter what kind of education or skill that you have. Because if you think about automation and what it will bring to the table, all I have to do is press a button. You know what I'm saying? And all I need outside of that is an engineer.
Where's the proof?
To fix it.
Where's the proof, Central Booking?
The proof. Go to TEDx. Listen to Mark Cuban on his interview with Bill Riley as they talk about how technology will take over a lot of jobs. And you might want to be aware of what jobs technology is going to take over.
So it's going to take your job, Central Booking?
It might.
Man, I don't think the robots would ever be able to take over pimping, man. So stop it, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to take your job, man. You always going to have a job. You're going to be in demand.
I better be.
But, yeah, I was getting to that subject because right now, as you're seeing a lot of people, you know, a lot of these kids, you know, I'm more concerned about them.
Well, yeah. You're very right. Excuse me for trying to cut you off there.
No, you good.
But you know, you're very right. It's like I'm saying to you, education will be worthless if you're going to have these automated things. You're going to have to really start to look into what fields will still have human beings.
Or what would still have human beings in demand.
That's it.
Because now, if we're getting to the point where they're saying in the next 20 years, computers will be pretty much smarter than the human, more capable than the human. They're having computers that can talk. They're having computers that can walk, that can think, that can learn. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that can do operations. Right now, they got this computer called Watson that's working in the medical field, and they're saying these computers can diagnose you better than a human can.
Right.
Right now, in the medical field, a lot of medical, breakthroughs are coming through because at this point we're starting to get it to a point because of technology. We're starting to get a lot of things to a science now.
Yeah.
It used to be in the medical field. You used to guess. Doctors used to guess like penicillin. You try this, if it worked, it worked. We're getting to a point now where we're getting things down to a science because of fusing with this technology.
Yes.
And me and my cousin, Mr. 42nd, was having an argument about cars being automated and transportation being automated. And right now, these companies are spending billions of dollars pushing towards this automation.
Yes.
And right now, there's a race going on.
Yes.
You know, China or those overseas, India, all of these people are getting in on this.
Yes.
So there's billions of dollars being pushed into this automation.
Well, it's like I saw a few months ago on the news. Now, you know, they had been talking about the driverless car for a minute now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're doing testing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're doing testing in other East Coast cities. They did want to do it in California, but California banned it because I think they already see the possibility that it will take jobs away from human beings. You understand? But you have companies out here right now vying for the taxi licenses and certificates in order to start being some of the first companies to start these driverless taxi cabs and things like that. So you think about that and what we have in taxis right now and who's going to lose their job.
You hear that, people? You hear that? You hear that, people? And look, we ain't making this up. We ain't. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing coming out of our imaginations. I mean, anybody with common sense can just see how technology is advancing. I mean, just in the last 10 years, I've seen just how far a computer has went. You know, I remember when I bought a PC in 2007, a computer. Hell, my damn cell phone can do more, open more pages, and run faster than that computer that I paid $500 for.
Right.
In 2007.
Right.
So these computer chips are getting smaller. They're talking about getting them in nanobots, you know, nanotechnology. This stuff is crazy. We're headed towards a future that I don't even think we're ready for. But now this is the point I want to get to. How is this, people, gonna affect y'all? See, a lot of people ain't thinking about this.
Because
no. If you think about it, you look at these young people that got kids now. You know, and I'm talking about the early 20-somethings, or you know, the teenagers that's having kids. These kids ain't prepared. Because if these kids are gonna be obsolete, and technology comes over and take over jobs, like you had these people were running around, wanting $15 an hour at McDonald's. You heard about all those strikes across. They want a higher minimum wage.
Yeah.
Well, hell, they can just automate you out of a job now. Why pay you $15 an hour when we can just get a kiosk and automate several people out of jobs, and they're doing that now at McDonald's.
Exactly.
They're putting in these kiosk machines, man.
I just saw it on the news not but a week or two ago. And yes, you're right. That's already telling you right there. I don't need you to cook my burger. I don't need you to fry my fries. And I don't need you to sit here in front of a cash register and pop it in. You know what I'm saying? All I need is a box with all of that stuff already in it, ready to go. And all the person has to do is say, this is what I want.
Now, historically, they say technology has created jobs. But I like what Mark Cuban was coming when he was on the Bloomberg report, and he was saying, listen, this technology is getting so advanced till this is a different type of industrial we're going through, because they're saying we're going through like a fourth industrial age. But he said this is totally different.
Yes.
From the first three. Mm-hmm. This one is going to be kind of, I guess you could say, the end of mankind. I'm not saying us. Well, kind of. That's what they're saying it's going to be in the sense.
Well, the end of mankind as a working force. Yeah. As a working force.
Shit, some of these people even going as far as to say it's the end of mankind. Period. Because they wanna in the future kind of link up with machines. You understand what I'm saying? Called transhumanism. I'm not gonna go that far ahead though. That's down the road, and we don't know how true that is yet. But right now, with experiments, with the guy with the bionic hand, transhumanism is kind of here.
In its way, yes.
In its own little way, on a micro level, it's already here, really. Yeah. But I'm not gonna go into that because then
that's another story.
People will start thinking like Mr. 42nd will start thinking you're going into conspiracy theories and all that.
Well, you know what that comes from? That comes from the fact of people being too religious.
I think so.
And the fact that you look at this thing as evil because we all keep thinking about revelations and the chips in our hands and heads and all of that kind of thing.
That man-made stuff.
That right. You understand? And so as technology advances, religious people get much more scared of what they are hearing. You know what I'm saying? Because all they can think of is the devil. It's the devil. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to look past that. You understand? And look at the fact that, wait a minute, even if it is kind of evil, you know what I mean? It's going to still come ahead of us.
But see, y'all don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to hear this. But I guarantee you, if you have a loved one that gets sick or need something done to them at the hospital, you welcome this new technology if it can heal you.
Yes.
So, I think in a way you're gonna have to deal with it, whether you like it or not. I think
It's a double-edged sword.
What do you mean?
You know, because in one way, just like you said, yeah, if my family member is sick, I want this new technology to heal them. But on the other side of it, I'm scared of the fact that it's going to take my job, or I'm going to have to use some kind of technology within my body in order to do this
Right.
or that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that makes it scary for most people and for the average person to look at.
I think it's two sides. I think there's a lot of people that's looking forward to this transition. You know, there are a lot of people who's looking forward to it. I mean, there are a lot of people like, look, man, I don't want to, damn a job. I'd rather have all my needs met by a robot. It's kind of like robots are gonna be kind of like the new slaves if you look at it like that.
Exactly.
They're gonna serve mankind. Now we don't know what kind of Pandora's box we might be opening once we get that advance. A lot of people don't believe we're gonna get that advance, but the next 20 years, if it keeps going the way it's gonna go, it's looking like we're gonna get that advance where they'll start being, pretty much, I guess, kind of being able to make decisions. You can say. I mean, for example, already if you go to the IRS, and I mean not the IRS, like H&R Block, for example. You did your tax return.
Right.
And you see how quick they
Yeah.
kick it to you now?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take no time. It's almost like a tax prepared person ain't even need it no more. Because you can almost go on the internet and do this shit.
Yeah. There's not much to fill out.
And right now, Walmart, I mean, if you see the self-checkout lines they have now,
Yeah.
right now, they're experimenting with stores that don't, with Walmart, like supercenters who don't need people.
Yes.
Where you can just walk in, take your little phone, scan your credit card number, buy what you buy, and you will not have no human interaction. Do you know how many jobs that takes away?
That takes away thousands of jobs.
Now, the delivery drone things, I don't know how they're gonna deal with that, but then that takes UPS. That takes a lot of jobs away.
FedEx.
What's the name of that warehouse? You were saying something about Amazon.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. It was I don't know the name of the warehouse they were in. I just know the name of the commercial. The company was called BDO, and they're like an accounting firm. And they were inside of a warehouse where there were no human beings. It were just machines pulling the products to wherever they needed to pull the products. Not one human being was in that warehouse. That is a sign, if there ever was one, that we no longer need human interaction within this warehouse.
Wow. Now, people, I want to say this, and I'm about to go on to get to the meat of where I'm trying to go with this. And I want to really talk to the children or any young female or male who got children. This is coming. And we're only a limited time before this is coming. And you're going to have to figure out something. A business, some way to get some type of money out here, because if they don't implement some type of basic income, and that's up for discussion. You hear Elon Musk talk about basic income a lot, and if people don't know who basic income is, it's basically what they're trying to say is they're gonna try to have the government give everybody a certain amount of money, to live off of monthly, because of this crisis we may have in the next 20, 30 years with jobs. And I'm sure a lot of y'all might like that though, because a lot of y'all can get time to smoke your weed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to work anyway. So this would be your way out.
A lot of cats, this gonna be heaven.
Yeah.
If they implement it.
Yeah.
Now, folks, the question I have, and what are we gonna do if they don't implement this basic income? What are we gonna do? Because if the power of a computer is more. The year 2029 or 2030, it's on pace to be smarter than the human being, or more powerful than the human being mind.
Right.
What are we gonna do?
You're going to be living on the outskirts of a technological city in the dirt. You understand? In some kind of camp.
Now, Mr. Central Booking, that might just be conspiracy theory. Do you honestly think this could happen? Do you honestly think that?
Maybe. I mean, you have to look at it like this, you know, because there are going to be a lot of unskilled workers, a lot of useless people. If they don't enact some kind of basic income, what do you think they're really going to do? Are they going to let you be a part of something just to be a part of it?
So what, are we going to become criminals or something?
I'm not going to say we're going to become criminals. I'm going to say you're going to become, I would say something just like how we used to talk about brick mansions or whatever.
Okay.
It's just going to be something set over to the side with poor people. Y'all sit over there while we enjoy the technology and advancements of a new age in a new world.
So if you'll
scrounge around for what scraps of whatever there is, and whatever they let us have, and that's it.
Central Booking, that's what you telling people. This is an abomination. How would they ever let this happen?
Why wouldn't they let it happen?
See, this is that gloom and doom, man. Why
wouldn't they let it happen? It's happening anyway in other countries. I mean, I was just on Facebook today and seeing something about Venezuela and the fact that they only make $33 a month, which is like 20 cents an hour. They're starving over there. These people are going crazy over there. They're stealing from each other and everything else. Why? Because there's no food. They're killing themselves over food. Now, what do you think is going to happen if we don't enact some kind of basic income here? And what do you think the government's really going to do? Are you thinking they're just going to let us be? No, they're going to push us off to the side somewhere up in martial law or some kind of thing. Because they're going to need to control the fact that we don't want an outbreak like that.
Okay. You don't want total anarchy. That's what you're saying.
Right.
In the country. Because when the have-nots is have-nots, it's going to be really some have-nots. But then, hold on. But listen. Obama did address this in his last address. He said, the president said, so Mr. 42nd, if you listen to it, the president addressed this. And a lot of you people, once you hear, you don't know who he is, but you might hear him on the show. My hard-headed cousin, man. He can be very ignorant at times. But the president even said that because of this automation, there might be a disappearance of middle-class jobs that may not come back.
Exactly.
Now, the middle class, ain't that the backbone of the country, folks?
It sure
ain't
is.
Ain't that the backbone of the country? So, if the backbone of the country, and y'all can Google this. Bill Gates was saying we're gonna have to start taxing robots. They're gonna start taxing robots.
Well, if they're doing the work,
he's proposing that.
If they're doing the work, then what could the government do but do that? Give extra taxes to those corporations who have automated systems.
What about the people, Central? What about the people, man?
What about them?
We're going to have to figure this out. And I don't know. And you don't see enough of this conversation being had on news. Why is that? Are we being set up?
A good possibility. But
people, do you believe we're being set up?
But that could be just what? Another conspiracy theory. Right?
Yeah, it could be another conspiracy.
You understand? So it is a valid point. And the real point of it is what can we do now in order to save our future? And this is going out to you kids with kids, because this is more important to you than it is even to me and K. Krim. Okay? Because if this works out for us, well, we have this. There's always going to be entertainment. People are going to want to be entertained. Yeah. So that doesn't go anywhere. But everybody can't be an entertainer.
But hold on.
Everybody can't be an athlete.
Hold on. But you know what, Central? This might work out for a lot of cats, though. Because think about it, man. If especially these chicks, they don't get basic income, it's a lot of free booty out here. That means booty is going on the discount sale like a motherfucker. So y'all better figure something
Hey,
out.
I'll be scooping it up. Y'all want to come and be a part of my harem? I got you.
But maybe that might be the solution. People might have to come back together and do what the old families did. But another thing, I was sitting back thinking, we don't know how to farm no more. We don't know how to survive no more. You know, that's another thing that we did at one time. We knew how to go out here and you know, make our own, you know,
make our own way,
food and
work
grow
the land,
crops and
hunt,
stuff like that.
And things of that sort. And now we don't do that. We depend on
we're dependent on everything.
Yeah, we're dependent to these corporations to give us jobs. We're dependent on the government to give us stamps. We're dependent on the politicians to do the right thing for us and make the right choices. So
we're dependent on Walmart. I mean, just think about it. The corner store, Walmart ain't there. You know, how can you go get your blacks and liquor? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we're and I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real though. I'm keeping it real.
So we might want to learn. You might want to learn some old school things. You know, certain things still have to be done by human beings. Machines aren't going to take over everything. You know what I'm saying? Machines can't monitor how farming goes. You know what I'm saying? They might be able to till the land and enrich it again, but you still have to put those plants in the ground.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's a hand done thing. You can't have a machine do that.
So,
you know what I'm saying? So y'all might want to think about farming. You might want to think about certain other aspects and avenues of old school things that we used to do. Because some of those things still have to be done by human hands.
You're going to have to come up with something. And I was sitting here thinking, you can't, you know, the criminal route if you look at drones and technology and stuff they have now, you will no longer be able to go that route. Probably anymore, man, because that's
I'm
not talking about the new school criminal. There's two criminals.
Yes.
There's the new school criminal, the hacker, the guy that can go in and I'm talking about the old school street criminal.
Right.
I think those days are pretty much over.
They are. They really are.
That
because
old school
the
street.
law enforcement knows those ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The things they're trying to learn now is how hackers hack. How these criminals are cloning credit cards and things of that sort.
And people in the new school criminals getting very savvy on how they do crime. So if you still out here trying to be on Facebook, trying to show that you got the plug and all that, you know, they're monitoring that, fellas. I'm just sitting it out to y'all that do that kind of dumb stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know who do that dumb stuff.
Yes,
but we ain't going to say his name, but we all know who does that dumb stuff. So, young brother, you might want to stop that, man, because you might be putting some unwanted attention to yourself.
Yes, sir. Stop smoking drugs on Facebook,
right.
flashing your pistols and all of that. Because sooner or later, they'll be looking at you.
Right.
And don't think that they're not. Because I've heard and seen a lot of news stories where people who have done that on Facebook have been arrested and are in jail for 10, 15 years now.
So you definitely, you know who we talking to. You definitely, young brother, might want to just sit down, chill out, man. Go read a book. You know, go do your music if that's what you're going to do. But you might want to chill out with all the trying to put a thug image out there, man, because it might end for you bad. And everybody knows Facebook is monitored by the police. Everybody knows that. That's no big secret.
No, it sure ain't.
You know, that's been out for years. So
yeah.
We're just putting that out there. But we got to go in technology again.
Yes.
Technology again.
Yes.
Technology
at its best.
It's changing things. And I think a lot of times these younger people, man, don't realize what kills me is, you know, in the early 2000s and the 90s, when we were younger guys, a lot of stuff you could do then, you can't do now.
No.
You just can't.
No.
You know, a lot of stuff you could do back in the 90s, it's over. I mean, truth be told, I won't even argue with a female no more. You want to know why?
Why?
She can FaceTime that shit live.
Yes, she sure can.
And you cussing her out, going off, being emotional. She FaceTime that shit live. Guess what you gonna get? You don't get a domestic violence
Violence
charge. And she got you right there.
Yeah.
So I don't argue with them no more.
Yeah.
I will not argue with a back when I was younger, I would try to, not argue with them, but how you would semi try to, stop that, or you and her having a disagreement.
Exactly.
I won't do it now.
Well, the best advice I got when I was young was turn around and walk away. And it's still the best advice now.
It's better.
Even more now than it was then.
Look.
So the best advice is walk away, because now there are recording devices.
Yeah.
Other people hear your argument and could record you. And there are cameras everywhere. Damn near everywhere now.
Technology.
Yeah.
Once again, people, you gotta understand the world you're living in. Technology, and a lot of people just don't. They get emotional, and that's another thing about us black people, man. I have a problem with us not understanding the world we live around, because we're very emotional people. I mean, we roll on emotion, and we don't think. We don't. This is a thinking man's world now.
Yes, it is.
You have to be a thinking man now. The days of the rah-rah type shit, or the dumb shit, or the emotional shit, it's not gonna work no more, because it's too many changes, and the majority of us are disadvantaged, and we're gonna be left behind.
Exactly.
And if this is true, come the year 2025, they're saying that the black workforce will be obsolete. Well, Central Booking, that's how many years from now?
It's not many.
That's what, 8 years?
8 years from now.
So if you have a kid, that's basically saying, but people gonna say this is gloom and doom.
Yeah.
That's basically saying, if you got a little kid now, if they don't implement some type of basic income, they don't have a future.
No.
If you're obsolete.
But let me say this also. Just because we're saying this about us as a people, don't think it's not going to hurt.
It's going to affect everybody.
It's going to affect everybody.
But it's going to
black, white, indifferent.
But it always, when it comes to jobs.
But it hurts us more.
More, because if it comes to job, we are the least employed. We can't deny that.
That's it.
Stats, figures, statistics say that we're the most in jail and the least employed.
Last hired, first fired.
Right. So if this is only 8 years from now, when a lot of these jobs start going out, who do you think they're gonna start giving their jobs to? I mean, you have to face the fact that you're gonna look out for your own first.
Exactly.
So if you don't have a plan or anything going for you, and you got a kid, and they're already talking about cutting welfare and spending more on defense. Where does that leave you?
And they're also saying now that they're going to be deterrents to that. You're going to be drug tested. They're going to find out, are you in school? Are you working? And so many other deterrents to stop you from getting it. So if you think it's hard now just to have it, just think about in a few years when you're up to piss in a cup, or they're taking blood or hair samples.
Oh my God, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So, people, if you have a plan, if you have a plan, do it now, because I don't want to. Let's hope we're wrong. Let's hope in the next 20 years they figure out a way to keep job creation. But at the rate it's going, if you do the research, it doesn't look like it. And if it does, the type of jobs will change so drastically. But but Mark Cuban struck me real good, and I'm gonna tell you why I listen to Mark Cuban. Because Mark Cuban has been in the tech field for a long time.
Yeah.
And Mark Cuban was basically saying, and now this is a billionaire. This is a guy that works in tech. He lives this shit. He was basically saying, look, forget about even going to college, getting an education.
Mm-hmm.
Because, what did that guy say? He said a computer will learn more in 12 hours, will upgrade faster in 12 hours.
Than it would take for you to get an 8-year education, and you would still be a month behind.
That's how fast it's going to be moving.
Yes.
So, I could wake up I could go to sleep, go to bed, wake up the next day, and it's gonna be moving that fast. How can we keep up with that? How can you keep up with that?
There's no way to keep up.
It's gonna be
with
moving faster than the brain. So where are you needed?
Right. There's no way to keep up with that. If they're telling you an 8-year education is worthless, then what can you do? You know, because that means school is no longer needed. Not in the way that it's needed now. That means school will have to drastically change. That means we have to drastically change.
I think maybe we might have to refocus on what's important now.
Yes.
What jobs is, what does it mean? We may have to do a total refocus, and we may have a freedom. I don't know. But only thing I'm concerned about is if they don't put some type of income in place. I'm just really concerned about these little kids coming up.
I am too.
Because if they don't have any money or any way to support themselves, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? And a lot of people, and we don't even, and a lot of people are oblivious to this may happen.
Yeah, exactly. The best advice I can give is that parents, we have to become smarter. We have to start looking toward other avenues. We can't just say go to school and get an education and it'll be okay, it'll work out. You might want to start telling your kids if there's something that they can invent, something that they can start a business, something where, you know, if they are athletically inclined, if they are singers, be the best that you can be.
Or they have any kind of talent.
Right. If you have any talent of any kind, make it the best, because they only take the cream of the crop, and that's in anything. You know, everybody can't be it. So the cream of the crop, you have to make sure that that's what they become too, because it's going to be on you in the end. If they don't have anything, who are they going to blame? They're going to blame the parents.
And you also have to think about this. In a way, I'm not trying to be gloom and doom, but if you really look at it from a realistic standpoint, and this is not going to be nice what I'm saying, a lot of these parents ain't parents, man. You know, I look at a lot of these girls with their kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not really investing time in their kids. They still chasing dick. I'm just being real. They still chasing dick. So they're not really investing in their kids. They a lot of times they're more invested in some, you know, a lot of these girls, I'm just being real. A lot of these dudes too.
Yeah.
They still invested in some, you know, she's still investing in some dude, and the dude is chasing some girl. And the kid is just a byproduct of some fuckery they did. That they didn't know what they was doing when they did it.
Right.
You know, and it's like kids are damn toys now. And you know, prison is real.
Yeah.
Unemployment is real.
Yeah.
The recession is real.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if we do go into another recession under the Republicans, which we may very well go into one, this is going to be, in my opinion, a total, I don't think we're going to come out of this.
We won't recover.
Nah.
I don't think we'll recover. And as time goes on, like we're saying, you know, that camp is real if we don't recover. Because you think the rich are just going to look at us and be like, oh, we're going to take care of you? You better get away from that dream. They're going to be like, well, we don't want them here. We want put these people in a corner. So, because we're not going to allow them to enjoy the joys of this technology or any of the rest of it. And yes, and for all you religious zealots out there, yeah, it might just be right that in order to eat, you might have to put some
chip in your hand. And take that, what they call the mark of the beast. So this is something to think about, man. You know, a lot of people got to think about this seriously. We're playing around too much. I mean, Facebook, man, if you see black people, and I really trip when I get on there and I see these girls with their kids. And have you noticed they always smiling and cheesing with their kids? And like I said, I'm not anti-kids. I'm not against kids. I love children.
Yes.
People think I don't, but I do. But I'm not anti-kids. What I am is anti-bringing them in the world without a plan.
Yes.
I am anti you bringing them in the world in poverty. I am anti that you got to go to the government to help take care of these kids. I am anti you having them and you're not married.
Right.
I'm anti that. I'm sorry, I am. Because you put them at a total disadvantage. You understand?
That they mostly will never recover
from because you basically brought them in poverty.
Yeah.
And these dumbass. See, I'm being harsh. But these dumbass little niggas don't understand what they doing when they do this, man.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that to my people, but you know what I mean. I love my people, but y'all gotta think, man, for y'all go out here and bust y'all nut in these chicks, man. And you females, y'all gotta. Am I preaching, man? I don't even want to preach, man, because ain't nobody gonna hear it anyway. Because you're not telling people what they want to hear.
Of course not.
You know what?
But y'all need to hear it.
I'm gonna start telling them like this. Nah, man, everything's gonna work out. There's $1 million gonna fall out of the sky, and God's gonna love your beautiful children. And you, ladies, you can get fat, gain weight, have 1,000 kids, and some man will come out the sky that's rich and handsome and take on you and your damn babies. That's what I'm gonna start telling them, man. I shouldn't have. I got off script, man. I got off script. You know Tyler Perry. You know.
Good luck with that.
You know, I got off script. You know, Tyler Perry stayed on script. That's why he rich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't let me get off script.
Oh yeah, he sold those black women a real dream there. But that's a story for another day.
Okay, let me tell you, young brothers, some of y'all, what y'all want to hear. That want to be on Facebook thugging. Yeah, you can get out here. You can fuck 1,000 chicks. You ain't gonna catch no STD, man. That's just a white man. That's a conspiracy. You can have 1,000 babies. Don't worry about child support. They ain't gonna pull you, man. You can do what the fuck you want to do. There ain't no consequences. Go out here, get guns, shoot niggas. You ain't going to jail because you smarter than everybody, man. So you can get out here and just break all types of rules. Ain't no consequences, bro. You the man. Okay. I'm done. You got anything else you got to say something to the folks, Central?
Oh, no. I said it already. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, y'all have a plan, or at least try to figure out how you can tell your kids what they really need to do. And I know y'all are young, and I know you might not even want to listen to this or hear this, and
don't want to understand its consequences to everything you do.
Be in your fantasy of what you think and believe it will be. But you got that smartphone for a reason. You better start looking up.
They ain't gonna use it for nothing. You know, all they gonna do is, they gonna use that smartphone to get on Facebook or FaceTime, or they get on it to use it to laugh. You know, watch Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying? Look at some booty videos. You know how it go, and get on there to know where the next party at or whatever. You know.
When we get in that predicament where there are no jobs and you're out there protesting, thinking that's going to change something, you'll know what it is then. This is Central Booking, and this is the K Central Show.
And I'm K Krim, and we out. And also at the end of this show, just know to everybody, man, there's consequences, and we're talking to these young people, honestly. There's consequences to your actions. And we're living in a time that there may be dire consequences. You're not living in your grandfather's time. You're not living in your grandmother's time. You're living in a different time. And this time might be the real deal, G. And we out.
One.